Hi folks, welcome back to the channel, and today we're introducing a new camera to the channel. This is the Sony RX100 Mark III. So this is not a new camera. In fact, the Mark III was launched around about 12 years ago, but the question is, does it still cut it in 2026? Well folks, this is something we're going to find out together, because I literally got handed this camera a few hours before traveling to Lanzarote, where I'm going to give it a good test. But first, some background information on the RX100 series and how I came across this particular camera. So the RX100 is a premium compact camera. We're currently on the 7th generation, with the 8th being quite imminent. There are some significant changes between the newer models and my Mark III. For starters, my Mark III has a faster lens which operates between f1.8 and 2.8, and the low light performance therefore is much better than its younger brethren, which have a much more pedestrian 2.8 to 4.5. That, however, is where the good news for the Mark III stops. The Mark VII has a longer zoom which operates at 24 to 200mm equivalent, compared with the poor Mark III, which only has a 24 to 70mm equivalent lens. With the autofocus here, the Mark III shows its age once more, as it is equipped with contrast-based autofocus rather than the new models like the Mark VII, which has the phase detection autofocus, just like the big Sony mirrorless cameras. In addition, the newer models also have things like eye focus, auto detect, and real-time tracking, which again are features on Sony's high-end mirrorless cameras. Now, none of that really concerned me, as none of my other cameras in my camera collection have phase detect autofocus. None of them are that new. However, one element, which was the rear screen, did make things much more frustrating. You see, the rear screen on the Mark III is not a touch screen like it is on the Mark VII model. Now, on my lowly Lumix FZ82, my usual travel camera, now that has a touch screen, which is handy, because what you can do is you can use that touch screen to pick your point of focus and ignore what the contrast-based autofocus thinks you need to focus on. That, sadly, is absent on the Mark III RX100. In fact, it got to the point where it was so annoying that I ended up switching the camera entirely into manual focus in order to focus on my subjects. One other difference, which possibly didn't worry me too much, but may worry you if you are a video shooter and you want to use your compact camera to shoot video, well, it's the fact that the Mark III and the Mark VII have substantially different video capabilities. The Mark III sadly only shoots in 1080p, whilst you get lovely 4K with the Mark VII. So onto image sensors, and if we compare the Mark III to the current Mark VII, both cameras have Sony's excellent 1-inch sensor. However, even those are different on either model. The Mark III has a back illuminated sensor, whilst the newer siblings have a stacked version. Now, this means you can shoot more frames per second. However, I don't think it's particularly shabby on the Mark III, as it'll still shoot 10 frames per second. For a compact camera, I think that's pretty decent. So I did say earlier I would say how I came across this particular camera. Now, this camera belongs to my father, and he basically got talked into buying it in a camera shop. I'll not name the camera shop, but basically I think they saw a nice sale heading their way, quite a pricey little camera, when really all he wanted was a simple point and shoot. And they sold him this. It's far too complicated for him. He's not a photographer. He doesn't like having to mess around with any settings, anything like that. He literally wanted to switch it on, point it at something, and click and take a photograph. So he got frustrated with how complicated it is, how many menus there are, all the things which, as a decent photographer, you actually need those controls. But so yes, so he basically said, I haven't used it would you like to take it to Lanzarote with you? Proof of the pudding is in the eating, so we'll move on to the photos I managed to capture here in Lanzarote. Now, I shot the images in RAW. I set the ISO to auto so that the camera would make that decision for me, and because I'm just new to the camera, I shot in aperture and shutter priority, again just for ease of use first time out. So here are the images, hope you enjoyed them. So the big question is, do I recommend the Sony RX100 for travel? Well, it is really compact, as you can see. It'll fit in the palm of your hand and definitely goes along with that everyday carry cliche that photographers like to band about. It is therefore ideal as a holiday camera, offering raw shooting, manual focus, a fast lens, and plenty of other options for a keen photographer. I'd say it's definitely a yes from me. I have enjoyed using this camera, apart from a few early frustrations. Now, there are some areas like the autofocus and the shorter zoom, which did make me wish I had the later model. So the big question is, how do you want to spend your money? Now, if you want to pick up a Mark III like this one, well, MPB has one in stock for around £350, whilst a brand new Mark VII RX100 will cost you around £1,100. Now, that £750 you could be spending on a holiday to get out and use it. So guys, as you can probably hear in the background, the hotel Zumba class is kicking off now, and I've got lots of background music. But anyway, time to wrap up this video. If you've enjoyed the video, if you found it useful, if you're thinking about buying or have thought about buying an RX100 and were unsure, I hope this video has been of help. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you've got this far in the video, do please give it a thumbs up if you've liked it. And of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel and you'd like to see more photography on a budget, then yeah, give Andrew Walton Photography a subscribe. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.